Cancer, welcome to your reading for the week of July 21st. Just a reminder, if you like this reading, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It'll really help the channel grow. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with a quick shuffle here. And then we'll always start off with a cut of the main deck to see what comes at the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck is always going to be a focus card. It's going to be maybe an overarching theme for the reading. So you have justice. Let's go. All right. So think about what's becoming more fair in your life. There's my dog right now, right next to me. Here's Luke. I don't want to move the camera so you can see him, but think about what's been fair and unfair in your life here, Cancer. What are you bringing into balance? Justice is Libra. Justice is, definitely bringing your perspective into a more balanced state. Focus on what's been unfair to you and how you're processing that, how you are finding ways to bring more justice and fairness into your life, and more balance, right? And then taking a look at the evidence in your life. That's a big part of what Libra is about and what justice is about as well, right? Oh, there's Luke. You guys can see Luke right here. There he is. He made an appearance. All right. He's going to be here from time to time. So we're going to start off with a 5-card spread, and then we will clarify. Okay. So your first card is the Two of Swords. That's very much linked to that justice card for sure. Your second card, Cancer, is the Emperor. Let's go. All right. Your third card, Cancer, is the Magician. That's another let's go card in my opinion. Fourth card is the Moon. So there you go. You are showing up here, Cancer, in your reading. And then you have the Six of Swords. All right, so again, justice was at the bottom of the deck. You want to think about what you're bringing into balance in your life. You want to think about what you're rectifying as far as what's fair and unfair in your life. You are definitely examining a lot here. And your first card is the Two of Swords. Your first card, Two of Swords, is about thinking about solutions in your life. It's definitely, there's a little bit of a theme here of protecting yourself, emotionally protecting yourself here, Cancer, right? So you can see with the Two of Swords, she's guarding herself with these two swords. Again, with that Justice card, 2 is definitely standing out to me here with these two swords, and the Justice card, he's holding onto a scale. So it's about balance. It's also about protection, this card, right? So she has these two swords that are protecting her heart, and she has a blindfold on. And the Two of Swords is about trying to use your intuition to bring a solution into your life. But the issue with the Two of Swords is that she's thinking that the solution is either going to be, this sword or this sword, right? But the ultimate thing about water in the tarot is that she needs to understand that she has to break this train of thought of thinking that things can go either one way or the other. She needs to take this blindfold off and see that behind her is this water, right? And for you as Cancer, you as water, water is definitely a powerful source. Your emotions are definitely a powerful source of coming or bringing solutions into your life. So once she takes that blindfold off, she sees that the water is behind her. And it's all about understanding that we can find solutions outside of what we think the the options are to solve our problems, right? It's not just going to go one way or the other with the swords. You can find new solutions outside of the ones that you are considering. So however that resonates to you, right? So this reading is definitely about what you're processing right now as far as your emotions go. And it's definitely about you coming to a place of strength as far as analyzing what is fair and unfair in your life with that Justice card. So definitely reflect on what you feel is the solution for you this week. A possible solution or something that you're manifesting in your life is the Emperor, right? Powerful card to come up in a 5 card spread. The Emperor is about being ready, right? The Emperor is about being a boss, being a leader, being truly strong and empowered. So once you rectify what you are processing right now, as far as what is fair and unfair, or just anything that you're processing in your feelings and your emotions, you are going to really become the boss. You are going to become the leader. You're going to be ready to go with this Emperor card. And then your third card is the Magician. So this is definitely an energy that you are working through right now. The Magician is about thinking about the right tool for the job, right? So you can see here he has the 4 suits of the tarot, right? So that's definitely something for you to think about as far as what you're trying to solve here, what you're attempting to bring to some sort of a resolution here, right? So, one aspect to the magician is that he has the 4 suits of the tarot, and really he can master these suits, right? So you're either gonna use your emotions from the cups, your knowledge and intellect with the swords, your creativity with the wands, or your work and your skills with the pentacles, right? And the magician is about thinking about what is the right tool for the job, right? So maybe for you, I mean, you have 2 cards of emotion here, in my opinion. You have the 2 of Swords and the Moon. You're a Cancer, so you're using your emotions is very much a strength for you. But in this situation that you're working on resolving here for this week, maybe you don't use the cups and your emotions. Maybe you need to think about it more. Maybe you need to use your creativity, right? And maybe use your work and your resources and your skills to figure out what's going on here as far as how you're going to rectify whatever this situation is for you. So the magician is saying, pick the right tool for the job. What is that going to be? The magician is also about manifestation. So you are manifesting something here, whatever it is. You are looking at your life. You are trying to bring some sort of resolution, or you're bringing in something into your life from this 4th card that you have, which is the Moon, which is you, right? The Moon is a lot. The Moon is about diving into your shadows, right? So, I mean, imagine this scene here, and there's a lot that goes on with the Moon, but what I'm picking up here is maybe some emotional armor, right? So you see that there's this lobster here, and the lobster is on this or heading looking at this road right here, and that path is the Fool's Journey, right? But the key to the lobster is that, and then this is a Cancer trait as well, right? The lobster and you as a Cancer, symbolized by the crab, you have this protective layer outside of you, right? And it's like it's always good to have a protective layer as the crab and the Cancer or the lobster in this situation. And you need to think about how you're going to use that emotional armor, right? You're going to need that emotional armor in some instances to protect yourself, to have boundaries. But really, if that emotional armor is putting you in a position of fear, it's making you operate from a position of fear, you need to go down this path, right? And you need to go without emotional armor, right? Because the Fool's Journey, and if the Fool were up here, the Fool is excited to go. The Fool is all about excitement. The Fool is the 1st card in the major arcana. And if you're the lobster about to go on this journey right now, it's really important when you need to have your walls up and when you need to break them down, or when you need to have your armor up, when you need to break them down. I mean, you have the Emperor again, right? So the Emperor has this armor here underneath his robe, right? And that signifies the Emperor is ready to go, right? And so there's something to me about like your armor. There's something about like when to use your armor, when not to use your armor, right? Because armor is good to have, but armor slows us down, right? Sometimes in battle, we don't need to have armor, and it's better for us to have free movement, right? So this is about something you are rectifying in your life. So make sure that that armor is not slowing you down, and take it off when you need to, and, find a way to battle without it, because you don't always need it. And when you do that, you got the 6 of Swords, right? This is what you're working towards. This is what you want to move towards. This is you moving on to better places. This is you moving on to just something calmer in terms of what you're rectifying here. So let's go ahead and clarify these cards. With the Two of Swords, you have the Emperor again, right? So let's go. You are bossing up here. Whatever it is that you're doing here, whatever it is that you're doing to rectify anything in your life right now, anything that's in your shadows, anything that's in your darkness, that's going to lead you to a very powerful state with that Two of Swords and the Emperor there. But again, find different solutions, right? You know, think in different ways, or feel in different ways, or act in different ways to bring about the resolution that you are working on bringing into your life right now. Your second card is the Emperor, and with the Emperor you have strength, right? So, this is a theme of strength, right? You know, Jupiter is in your sign for the next year. It's going to be one of the luckiest years that you have, right? So, I mean, this can be your outcome. If this is your outcome from Jupiter being in Cancer, your life expanding, your life having more luck, and if your outcome is you being an emperor with strength, that's a pretty amazing outcome, right? So focus on that. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you need to develop more as far as becoming a stronger person? What do you need to develop more in terms of becoming a leader, a boss in your life, right? So think about that, Cancer. Third card is the Magician. Let me pull a card for the Magician. And with the Magician, you have the Knight of Wands. So this is a card of adventure, right? So, it's coming up with the Magician. So think about, like, how are you going to have more adventure in your life? How are you going to use creativity more in your life? For the Knight of Wands to come up with the Magician here, it's urging you to use wands in your life, right? If you're studying tarot right now, I would recommend going through all of the cards in the wands, right? And learn about them, right? Because it's like, if these are the two cards coming up for you this week, then this is saying that you need to use your creativity more. You need to use that wand energy more. You need to go on adventures. You need to get out. You need to get into the sun, right? So that's what that is definitely bringing up. This card wanted to come out with the Moon, and with the Moon, very much a Moon card, you have the Five of Wands, right? So the Five of Wands is about conflict, competition. This is, in my opinion, you are really processing internal conflicts right now. You are looking at the parts of yourself with this Moon card here, that, parts of yourself where you're fighting yourself. But the beauty of the Five of Wands is that these folks are fighting with wands and not swords. They're fighting with sticks, right? It's learning how to fight, right? So think about what you're diving into inside of yourself right now, the conflicts within the inner turmoil, the inner conflicts, and what are you learning from it? And it's like, as much as you feel that it hurts, the hurt is going to be fairly temporary here, because you're not being cut with swords. You're learning how to fight with wands. Your last card is the Six of Swords. And with the Six of Swords, you have the Tower. Awesome. Right? So you are moving towards a more grounded reality, right? Like the Tower is definitely a vibe in this reading, right? Because maybe you've been going through Tower moments. Maybe you've recently gone through a Tower moment, which has set off this trajectory of this reading for you. But for the Tower to come up with the Six of Swords, you are moving on to a better place from whatever recent Tower moment you believe that you've gone through, right? The Tower is a scary card. People are afraid of the Tower. Like, we can't be afraid of the Tower. We're always going to have Tower moments. And usually Tower moments happen without our control, and it just happens to us, right? And it's like, you see here, right, the lightning strikes this tower, and the people have to jump out of the windows because they have to be brought back down to earth, right? They've been living in this tower. They've been living in luxury. Maybe they haven't been living in reality, and Tower moments are designed to bring us back down to reality, to bring us back down to earth, right? So that we can face the things that we haven't been facing. So know that whatever it is that you're going through, if it is a Tower moment, if it's just any sort of inner, conflict or issues that you're resolving, you are going to move on to a better place. All right. Have a good week, Cancers. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. There's also a playlist that's going to pop up, and check out other videos in that playlist, and I'll be adding to it. So I hope you have a good week. Peace, Cancer.